in.
Yeah, you can lock in jungle here if you want to, because Bono is certainly prioritizing the Lee Sin above all other things, and we know the Temps champion pool is actually quite wide. I wouldn't mind him picking up the Azir in this composition as well to give them at least something to utilize in the later stages of the game. We're talking about this last time we were on broadcast, LS. We were talking about the Azir buffs that have come in, and Papa and I were discussing it yesterday as well. So Azir does feel like a better champion. BDD also did ridiculous damage, even though they didn't quite find the victory against Genji in game number 1.
Jarvan now being banned away by Hanwha Life as Lissandra banned away by Jin Air Green Wings. But Hanwha, they have first selection, so Zoe definitely still on the agenda, although that would be trying to fight Jace Ezreal with Zoe, which can be a task. It's a poke versus poke, definitely a knife fight. Hanwha Life probably just have to ban another jungler here. Sejuani would not be that good of a ban.
Okay, or Elise.
Yep, they banned the Elise, which I do think is one of the better picks. The reason that Sejuani isn't as good is because the ultimate, when it comes out, it's a little bit slow. You can't hit the Thresh, Kalista can save her. You can't just hit one of the other members, because if your team's follow-up isn't there, Thresh can save them. There's also a lot of evasion currently still present on the side of Hanwha Life, and you would have to be picking the Sejuani into still 2 remaining blind picks. So Yasuo, now banned away, could be signifying that Jin Air wants the Zoe. Hanwha Life could just pick their top laner here, wait for Jin Air to lock in the Zoe, and then get Syndra. No, it'd be... Okay, well...
Not going to happen. I mean, Zoe was, of course, on the table, and
now
it's not like Tenz's just going to pass it up.
Syndra one time.
I feel like this does feel like a bit of a trap, right? Like, I felt like everything was there to get a Zoe pick out of Hanwha Life. So Jin Air cannot be surprised here as 10 seconds ticks down. What do they take away here? Jungler to come in, sees most played. A couple of games here on the Xin Zhao.
Xin Zhao, Zillion. There's a few picks that are very good
I like
as
Syndra's
a combo.
I really like Syndra's in.
Syndra Xin Zhao is probably the best. Aurelion Soul.
That'd be an interesting one. Certainly a lot of roam potential.
There it is.
Yeah, there we go. Beautiful.
And so now, if you're Hanwha Life and you're going up against this, it's definitely a predicament to be in. You can't pick a short-range top laner. You can't pick a tank top laner either, as the Jace Ezreal is just going to bully your short-range champions all too much, and it's going to basically come down to the Zoe show.
You can't pick a lot of range champions either. I mean, the only other champ that's range towards the top side is something like a Kennen or a Nah, but not going to happen. It's going to be the Ornn taken from Tal, and he's the one that's just opted into abuse on the top side of the map.
I will say that Ornn generally is really good into poke. Actually, I think Ornn is probably best to answering Ezreal Zoe. Jace Ezreal, though, I think is a little bit different. The Arcane Shift and generally how far away the Jace tends to stand, as well as the movement speed that he gets from his gate, can make it a little bit difficult for Ornn in the later stages. This is a very wonky team comp by Hanwha Life Esports. If they get ahead, Jin Air has no way to come back in the later stages of the game. But likewise, if Jin Air Green Wings get ahead, it's all on Ornn and Zoe to somehow try to save the day.
But the thing is, I think Jin Air have a far more obvious way of getting an advantage. A, they have skirmish advantage in the jungle. B, they've got push advantage in mid and top. They should have complete control. So it's about Hanwha capitalizing on early game opportunities that Jin Air might be able to give them, rather than them having the agency to make that happen for themselves. This is certainly a draft that I feel Jin Air have won as the game starts. And gets better for Hanwha as the game goes on. Their mid-game spike, of course, 2 items on Kalista, needs no introduction, but can they actually get there on even footing is going to be really tough.
Take another quick look at the team composition here for Hanwha Life. Kalista Thresh, definitely a kill lane. Zoe and Lee Sin for the mid-jungle dynamic, and then Ornn up there in top lane against the Jace. He's going to have his work cut out for them.
Yeah. It's a real toughie here for Hanwha to try and navigate the early stages, and I think bottom lane is going to be where they're going to have to hang their hats. Whether or not they can do it here in game number 2 to get it 2-0, we'll have to find out here as we get into the game.
생성
And so, LS, you are a bit of an Ornn aficionado. Because, as I can recall, you can... it's not going to be taken this time around, but you can build a spellbook build and go into the jungle on Ornn. So, therefore, he must be an LS champion. Am I right?
That is indeed true. I am an Ornn enthusiast. I have played him in every role except AD.
Damn. How would you manage to find an AD build for...
Can't do it.
Is it
not,
impossible?
not a troll.
Is it impossible, or have you just not tried hard enough?
I haven't... I think that's it. I haven't believed hard enough.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's all that I'm really missing here.
That's the right attitude. As Jin Air, let me just point out the fact that Grace has a 100% win rate on Syndra. Let that sink in.
Okay.
16 game losses.
Interesting stat. Interesting stat here. You know what though? Every time I play Ornn and you take the blue skin, if you get a 5-man ult, like a 5-man knockup with the Ram or something.
Yeah.
That's like a Thanos snap.
Oh yeah. That's
just like Thanos. You know, they just unless your team's really far behind and you just get smacked.
I feel like you talk about Thanos more than most people that I know. Are you a Thanos enthusiast?
No.
Huh.
What?
I mean, I was gonna say, like, I mean, is it his mindset here? Is it his opinions on population control? Because I hope not, because that's real scary. Okay, Linderung gonna miss that empowered shock blast, but Tal's gonna miss the entire minion wave, and this is how this matchup is going to look. This isn't Tal being bad, guys. This is Jace being hard to play against when you're on in the early game.
Although Linderung's mana management has been relatively poor thus far. He's at about 30% mana at level 2, maybe even 25% now, judging by the mana bar up there in top lane. Not enough damage was actually thrown down onto Tal. You just see his HP in the mana bar, even though we're not looking at the top side. He has a potion, he has the Doron shield. This is how everything's supposed to go. They want to get the ball rolling really fast.
Oh man, Tal, he's getting punished for being the solo carry for his team in the last game, but whether or not they're actually going to be able to make this one work is the question. There's the Bellows Breath, gets the nice double knock-up as Linderung flashes, and the turret shot's going to take him down, a 1-for-1, but there's a lot of minions that are going to go missing. Teleport's available though, and the death timer is not very long at level 3, so he'll be fine.
Still going to be a really big win for Hanwha Life up here in top lane. Ornn's going to get there, he's going to get the CS, and he's going to get all the gold from those minions, and meanwhile, Zoe was able to crash a wave into the turret, now going to get the bounce back. Lee Sin able to get a lot of counter jungling done during all of this, and so at the end of the day, Jin Air Green Wings, they will have a slight gold advantage, evident by the gold graph at the top, but Hanwha Life definitely makes out from all of this. Take another quick look at it. Bellows Breath right there at the end.
Oh,
nice
hits
knockup.
level 3, gets the charge instantly.
What a pro.
That is actually really impressive. Look at him. Cool, calm, and collected. No worries.
It was very, yeah, they were even saying nice, but that definitely was not as clean as it could have been.
Yeah.
In fact, it was a little bit dirty.
It was. I did really like how Tal was able to handle that one. Linderung comes back, has got a couple of Doran's Blades, so just continuing the game plan to stay in control. But speaking of in control, bottom side of the map certainly belongs to Hanwha Life, as Seas comes in for the wraparound. There is a control ward. He's going to take a little while to notice that it's there. And now Tal is like, dang it, once again, I have to play passively. But he's actually doing a great job of holding onto this lane as Root. Not going to get hit by that hook. Now, Mono coming down. There's no mana on Root here.
Also, take a look at Kalista, the no W skill.
Heal very early used, and no Q is going to land there as Key takes a lot of turret shots. Sorry, you were saying?
The Kalista skills at the bottom left.
Yeah.
No skill points.
Yeah, often you don't see them at all. We've actually seen a bit of this
a lot of
recently.
Don't know that, though, in other regions.
Yeah.
This is the way to maximize the damage potential down there in bottom lane on the Kalista.
This is how you maximize tilt on a top laner.
Yep.
Just make sure you keep coming back.
They're trying to tilt him, and you know, these pranks are really working very well because the minion wave constantly pushing into Linderong, and so even though nothing seems to be getting achieved, you are zoning him out of XP. He is missing minions, which equate to gold, and over enough times, in a way, you do end up killing him.
Oh my goodness, that didn't spot seize. That's actually crazy. Because that means that I feel like Bono now thinks that he can head back to get that Rift Scuttler as Tal doesn't get the knockup. Q's going to land as Bono comes on over. They want to try and get the crash into the turret, but Caesar's position I don't think is well known. And Bono going to get jumped on. Halo Blades causes a lot of damage. Bellows Breath to get Tal out of the way. And actually it was enough. The Unstoppable. Really, really nice now as Caesar. They almost turned onto him. Teleport going to be committed to by Nova. As he will probably get himself back down towards the bottom side of the map, but no dice as far as kills. Trouble Bubble avoided there by Grace. Really nicely done.
Really close call not to get hit by that. Didn't have the cleanse available. Definitely would have been lights out for Grace. So he's going to live to see another day here in the mid lane, as right now Hanwha Life, they are down about 600 gold, but not the end of the world for them right now.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. This is a better game than game number one. Game number one felt like it was in a lot more turmoil. This is more about playing better on both sides of the map. I mean, the early dive was not great for Jin Air, but I felt like it was more of an outplay for Tal, with Jin Air thinking that they would be able to keep him at level 2 and then into the death chain.
And I think that one of the really big things for me is that there's almost an entire level lead present up there in the top lane, and XP advantages are not often talked about enough. Right now we can see that both top laners are level 6, but Jace is deep into the level 6, whereas Ornn did just hit it. Lee Sin will be pathing to his red though shortly, and then after that maybe they want to make a play happen on the top side of the map.
Difficulty here for Hanwha Life is that they can barely gank for Tal. So this is going to be all about whether Tal can utilize his teleport to get the rest of his team into a better position. As you can see, down the line, they are winning in both mid and bottom lane. Bottom lane by a lot more, as the Kalista lane into the Tahm Kench. Ezreal is certainly one that is going to overperform, especially if Root's going to miss CS like he did on that range minion and that one, which is unfortunate. Doesn't have his tier completed just yet either. Needed to go for the Sheen for the extra lane presence, so the scaling option certainly not going to be available for him in time. But it's all about the Jace, right? It's all about Linderong being massive and then playing around that in order to get to a late game that Jin Air should have an advantage in, or a later game. Oh, yeah, Hook is going to land, but it's going to be Sangyun jumping on the Lantern Ride. He's going to be fine.
Do you think that he's a masochist? She was like poking him with spears and stuff, and then he threw his tongue at her.
Yeah, maybe. Could be a thing. Is there's the Ram that's going to get the teleport, the flash out of Linderong, and Scootle Rivers is going to go to sleep. Bono's going to be able to pick that one up. I think that's the first Scuttle Crab that I have seen Bono take this series.
Well, just a second ago, getting the flash away from Jace is very big. As soon as that Ornn ultimate is up again, he should be pretty much a free kill.
Yeah.
If he's stepping too far up inside of the lane. It really reminds me of Malzahar, almost in a way, where the enemy laner is flashless, then it just becomes all too easy to kill them.
Feels like Annie.
See, at least you know.
Yeah, don't worry, I understand the real reference here. I knew what you were trying to say. I knew what you wanted to say. Ooh, that's actually going to land this time as the flash is going to be used from Grace. He just barely didn't have the cleanse available. So that's a free summon spell just from Tempt.
The ranked reset is only for Diamond Plus.
Yeah.
So it only affects a certain % of the population, but could affect a lot more if everyone started playing Annie. They could get Diamond too.
But then everyone would be Diamond, and theoretically Diamond wouldn't exist anymore.
We just can't have that, right? Exactly.
Maybe everyone already is Diamond. But because the fact that, like, it is a league where you're all in a position in reference to each other, we have to have some people being Silver, the less Diamond version of the Diamond players. Maybe we should rename the ranks to, like, Dull Diamond, Chipped Diamond.
Isn't that what Diamond 1, Diamond 2, Diamond 3, Diamond 4 is?
Yeah, Diamond 5, Diamond 6, Diamond 7, Diamond 8, Diamond 9. Yeah, just keep it going. Keep it going all the way down to Iron 4, baby. That'll make everyone feel way better.
Well, Jin Air Green Wings are going to feel better here with the Rift Herald now picked up. They are exchanging it for a Mountain Drake, though, and Mountain Drake on the side of Hanwha Life is definitely what they want with that Kalista.
Oh, no, but this is all about the Jin Air win condition. They know exactly what they need, and they need Linderung to win by more. And this is, 11 minutes into the game, a whole bunch of turret plates go down. Tal even copping a lot of abuse, sees in hand to try and come down here. Shelly's going to have her eye poked out, will be dealt with, but now a back has to come in because Tal's super diveable there on the top side. Ornhorn going to come on through, but he boops it back just to try and clear out minions. He's going to successfully do so, does have teleport to make his way back towards the top side after that health bar has been replenished. That is still great advantage here for Linderung on the top side of the map and exactly where they need their money on the side of Jin.
Hanwha Life, they are down almost 1,000 gold here.
Sees.
Almost all of that is in the top lane. Abyssal Voyage.
Nova is just having a few adventures so far
Going
today.
on vacations.
He is.
I guess.
Catfish is finding new waters.
Do you think that Jin Air Green Wing players get discounts on flights?
Probably.
They must, right?
Yeah. Assuming they fly with Jin Air.
Right. They go to the airport, they're wearing the Jin Air outfit, they like fly Korean Air.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, we like Terminal 2, man. Just prefer that, Wait, I actually don't know where Jin Air is. Maybe it's in Terminal 2. To explain that reference, guys, Seoul Incheon Airport has 2 terminals. One of them is far more fancy. Terminal 2, yeah, very new and very nice. I only went there for the first time late 2018, and I wish that I'd gone there sooner. It's real fancy.
I haven't been there yet.
Really?
I've been to Terminal 1 recently, actually. I flew Jin Air recently.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, I did.
Look at you. That's a bit of bias. Well, Root's going to get pierced. That took a lot of damage. Finally getting some points in there, and I believe Sentinel nothing invested, which is why that's going to do a bit of extra damage here after maxing, of course. The Rend first. Control Ward going to be taken down as Sangyun puts some sticks into this Brambleback, and that's what you can do when you've got a winning bottom lane. Hook avoided narrowly by Nova.
Hanwha Life at this point, 2.5 minutes coming up until the Mountain Drake. Ornn was trying to stabilize as long as he can up in top lane, as it looks like Jin Air, they want to make this play against the Ornn, capitalize on the last 2 turret plates remaining before the 14-minute mark.
Waddle. Look at the sad waddle away from the turret that he knows is going to die.
That's just really, that's an awful feeling.
Yeah.
That's like when you have to evacuate the area.
Yep.
Like radiation,
and you've
something.
And you've just put something in the oven, and you have to turn the oven off, and now it's
going
to get spoiled, like that's the really sad part, right? It's like a fresh apple pie, and it's just going to be stale and half cooked. It's just crappy. But you can't leave your oven on, man. You have to evacuate.
What's the name of
Fate's Call?
Okay.
That's going to be the knockup. On the route there as well, he should be going down here. The Rend is going to go into a potential other reset as Nova. I don't know whether the Grey Health is going to save you here, as that's the double for Sangyun. And welcome to the game, my friend. This is the kind of power spike that we're looking for, and it's even before the first item.
Yeah, this is a really key timing for Hanwha Life right here. They're going to be able to pick up the bottom tier 2 turret as well, and probably going to manage to get a nice recall off, and then eventually convert this into a Mountain Drake capture, and then 2 Mountain Drakes for them is going to lead to very easy time taking the Baron in the later stages. It also opens up the possibility to 2-man it with the Kalista.
Yep. It's going to be pretty safe doing so as well, and there was absolutely nothing Root could do, right? He just pops to the Rend. That did so much damage. Now Sangyun cuts off the escape, and I think that he was mostly just having fun there, dancing around. Hanwha Life fans very excited about how this one's going. And I'm just happy to see Sangyun and Key playing to this level, right? Because they had to. There is no other choice. Jin Air have one avenue for victory, that is through the top side of the map, denying Tal any relevance in this game. But the thing is, that's almost impossible if this game goes past a certain timing. Yep. Because he's always got the Ornhorn. He can always just press his buttons, right? He's going to be building tanky stats and upgrading other people's stuff.
I mean, Ornn is almost at his passive mark here, and that'll be an upgraded Blade of the Ruin King for Sangyun first, most likely.
Yep, Blade of the Repaired King is what I like to call it.
I like that.
Yeah.
What's a repaired king?
I don't know, Reformed? Later the Reformed King?
Tyler won.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say it. It's Bono's dead. See you, mate. That's too many orbs for you to deal with, and it's even Root that's able to grab that with a sneaky Q. I like it. Get the Ezreal to a better point, and now Jinna have the option of transitioning this into another Mountain Drake. Oh, whoa. Phenomenal double stun. Hanwha even able to get some extra poke there, and it looks like they'll be able to break open the outer turret in the mid lane. Unless the Ornhorn can help, but he's going to find no one. That is going to be a field goal. Jinna need to move on over to try and get themselves this Drake. They need to find something from this pickoff because 2 seconds and Bono will be back up again. And finally, they've got down here. That's a great play coming in for Jinna, and this gold lead only 1,000. Jinna still in this one.
Jinna Green Wings getting the Mountain Drake for themselves is a really key capture, as the Jace is definitely going to be able to utilize that in the later stages of the game while he's trying to commence his split push. And obviously, it will help a little bit with taking the Baron for sure. Normally, one Mountain Dragon is not the biggest thing to get excited about unless you have a Ballista maybe on your team.
Nope. And with both the teams having one as well, it doesn't feel like that much of a big deal. C's going to throw his W out, but Hanwha Life going to be absolutely fine en route. Arcane shifting to get out of the way here. It's really good wave clear to come through for Hanwha Life in the 3, and so the 2 is going to be able to easily take down this turret towards the top side of the map. Oath Sworn in hand. Oh, that double stun was so nice! Ultimate just comes off cooldown, and they need to bait out the heal from Tempt, and that is going to secure the outer turret. Grace, you can see why he's 100% win rate on the Syndra.
Whoa.
Not a lot of champions that he's even above 0% win rate on. So that is fantastic stuff, and I'm sorry, that's just how it works. If you've won only 3 games in the split, that's how this works out.
Well, we can definitely see right here inside of this replay that Bono, I mean, he just gets caught up, completely annihilated right there.
That's a lot of orbs.
That's a lot of balls.
Yep. That's a spherical party in the mid lane. There's Root. Turns up, he doesn't have his 2 items just yet. This is a very anemic Ezreal, probably the most anemic that we've seen for a very long time. 17, close to 18 minutes, and now he's going back to complete the Manamune, which won't be a Muramana for a little while because it took a long time for him to actually start stacking that tier up. So teleport to come in to get Root back into the mid lane. This is exactly what you want to do with your Ezreal. Remember, Papa was mentioning this. It was Jinna that had the problem of they had an Ezreal and then they stuck him in a lane on the bottom side of the map forever. Didn't transition into the mid lane with 2 items. It was just a little bit of a disaster. And a bit of a tilter for any analyst watching.
Very interesting here as the game is entering into a pseudo-lull state.
But that's 2 items on Sangyun, so I feel like Hanwha should be trying to press the issue here. They've got the power spikes that they're looking for, and that's exactly what they're going to do. C's going to get devoured. Nova's going to get him out of trouble. Fate's Call comes in. They try and go for the left side, but Linderung flashes to get himself out of the way. A lot of big summoner spells used there from Jinna, but they are going to keep themselves alive. And the disengage is successful for the moment. True Shot Barrage. That's going to try and clear out the minion wave, but he doesn't even hit that. As now Jinna will be able to collapse on this 3-man. The 2 are going to be in the mid lane pushing things through. And C's going to flash on forward. Wind becomes lightning, and Key is going to die. Linderung picks up that kill, but Hanwha taking things elsewhere on the map.
Yeah, and I think this is actually a beneficial trade for Hanwha Life. They managed to pick up the mid tier 1 turret for themselves only at the expense of Key. He did end up flashing though, which definitely isn't the best thing to have happen. Paul almost level 13. On the Ornn.
Yep, he's pretty comfortable. Try and get these upgrades happening. Like you say, we're probably going to have the Blade of the Reformed King coming in first, but let's have a look at this one more time. The flash from C's, when becomes lightning, is going to get the slow, and that is going to be a death threat. It's pretty elementary there, but it's the trade that's important, right? Killing the support for a mid lane out of turret. You don't have to be an analyst to figure out which one's the better one.
So far, speaking of better ones this game, the ADC on the side of Hanwha Life has been having a much better game, and he's the only real thing keeping them afloat inside of this game. There's such a heavy reliance on the Kalista to just explode in the upcoming team fights.
I'm going home.
Blue Sentinel's not in Syndra.
No.
That's what I just got from that.
He's just frightened. He's intimidated.
Yeah.
Syndra's intimidating. Bono, you saw how he feels. Just gets squished immediately. too many heavy spears to the face. Hanwha started up the Baron. I don't know whether that was just Sungyun having a good time though. Just wants to get that martial pose mechanics underway.
I always wonder what that type of play ends up meaning. I picture Songyun saying, "Hey guys, let's do this," and then someone says no.
He's like, "Okay." Well, beach ball not going to land on the root.
Uh-oh.
On comes in as Key comes along down. Lands the hook on the Ezreal. Really nicely done. Does get the flash eventually, but the Ignite was there. Key didn't use that in the last fight. That is going to be the pick-off, and now potentially a movement towards this Baron.
They are pathing towards the Baron right now. Jace does have the teleport available.
No flashes apart from Grace here on the side of Jin Air, though, so not a lot of face check ability for this squad. Grace comes on over, trying to clear out minions and, wards, and Grace takes half of his health bar for it. So Hanwha just lying in wait. Jin Air, not a lot of options right now. Another hook is going to land there from Key, but stopwatch available from Nova. Gets himself over there. Grey Health is going to get eaten as Linderung does make his way in. The Tahm Kench falls down, but some health bars have been taken out here by Jin Air. So maybe Hanwha going to deter from heading towards the Baron.
And meanwhile, down there in bottom lane, Ornn getting himself a couple of free waves of experience.
And Mirage is going to see that there is no Baron start yet.
And these are just really nice guerrilla warfare tactics from Hanwha Life to get themselves some picks, definitely slow down the tempo of the game, allow the Zoe and the Ornn more time. As Ornn, he's going to get to his second completed Masterwork item. Take another quick look at this replay. Ornn ultimate comes in, manages to knock up Syndra, whiffs on the Ezreal, didn't quite matter though, as Key definitely had Root's number.
Yeah, and just Root stepping a little bit too far forward, punished immediately. Finally has his transformation, second tier on the way. But he's really feeling second tier at the moment in the 80 carry race towards relevance, because Songyun's already there and he is well and truly behind. Looks like Guardian Angel could be coming in next, or Songyun might just sit on this stopwatch for a while and build up a Bloodthirster. It's a very comfortable Kalista at this stage of the game. You can see why she's been first picked so often, but Tempt now finds himself on the wrong side of the map. And Bono's going to turn up. Okay, Grace immediately cleanses. Now Tempt takes the round of spells, but it's just not enough. The heal is going to come in there. Double summon spells do come out, but now Jin Air are the ones that feel routed. Another beach ball is going to come forward, as Grace doesn't even want a body block here as Root comes on up, but I don't think he's going to get there in time, and now this is a fight on multiple fronts. Fate's Call comes forward. Double knock up from Key. Doesn't find the hook, though. It's going to land onto a minion. Wind becomes lightning, comes in there. The ultimate from Seas keeps him alive. Stopwatch there available, and the Ornn should be taken down. The last auto attack, not enough. This anemic Ezreal just does no damage, as Bono's going to get slowed down. The flash, but there's no orbs there. You're not going to get the stun with the scat of the week. And Hanwha, they limp out, but they're absolutely fine.
That was a very peculiar fight, Atlas, where it looked like everything was going in Hanwha's Hanwha's way at the very start of it, but then looks like Jin Air had the opportunity to turn that around. I do think that Grace fail flashed right at the very end.
Well, or he used his scat of the week, but just didn't realize that he had no orbs out. It was really confusing, because I thought that that was the potential stun, right? And he's landed so well. We know that Grace is a very talented player, but fumbling it there when it counted is a big problem. That's going to mean Ocean Drake comes forward for the Kalista. Going to see this one once again. It was Root knocked up, but just unable to capitalize on it, really. And chased here into the jungle.
Yeah, Thal was the one that took the Lantern, trying to get onto Seas. Eventually gets onto him here. Songyun ults Key right on top of them both. Hook lands onto a minion. Play comes in. Seas managing to use that stopwatch at the last second right there. Looked for sure like Thal was going to go down. Right there, Bono barely managed to get away. Watch the flash on Syndra. Yeah, she definitely... That was a fail flash.
Yeah, that was hopeless.
Not the best of feelings, and so right now, just under a 1,000 gold advantage here for Hanwha Life. Another open Drake is coming up next, so not the highest priority dragon for either team.
We've got full vision control for Jin Air around the Baron pit. So right now, it actually feels pretty good. transformation to come in. So Mirror Mana online for Root, who's still stacking things up when it comes to the tier. But he's now got a Vamp Scepter, and Sungyun gonna have to start respecting him. You can see the slow coming in. Actually does double duty to the Callista, of course, slowing her down. The Martial Pose not going to be able to help you get out of the way as much if your movement speed is impaired.
Oh man, Thal he's looking for a snap.
Yeah, and I feel like Thal is heading towards double MVP if Hanwha win this game, right? Because
this is looking so beautiful.
Yeah, there's the Ornhorn. Devour going to come forward as it goes entirely in the wrong direction. And the Ezreal's going to get spat out. That's the Fate's call, and we're going to have the Thresh delivery system. But he takes so much damage. It's Zoe on the back end, though, and Empowered Shock Blast starting to do some work. Sees, wants to get some damage towards the end, but it's a double kill now for Attempt. Root trying to chase them on forward, and look at the low health bars. The flash forward doesn't land the W. The auto's not enough. Empowered Shock Blast hits the wrong target, as now we're just trying to find the fish in the barrel. Hook lands, Key dives forward. The Ornn trying to get damage in there, but it's not enough. Key gonna go down.
Callista.
And now Sungyun thinks that he can get it done. The Ren sets! And he's looking to finish this one off. There we go. Triple kill, and it was all a cunning ruse.
That was definitely looking like a cruel ploy right there. Hanwha, they're going to be able to convert this into a Baron, and that might just be lights out for Jin Air Green Wings here in this series, as I'm not quite sure how this massive poke comp is supposed to resist against a Baron push.
And I feel, and this is a do or die style Baron team, right? And okay, we'll have a look at the replay first before we explain.
Yeah, so we have the Ornn ultimate. It completely whiffs. That Ram was interested in something else, but Temp able to get so much damage. Bono in there on the backline, able to get in on C's. Grace going down very early on in the fight. Thal misstepping actually a little bit too far forward, taking massive amounts of damage. But you can see that Root being really frugal with how he wanted to try to handle this fight. Very conservative with his approach, and then in the end, Key landed the hook. Thal comes over the wall, but not able to actually get a knockup. It was at this point, Sungyun said, you know what, I've had enough.
Yeah,
He's getting back into the fight.
It's like, okay, guys, I guess it's win time. You said that you'd be able to do it, but don't worry, I'm fine. We'll fix this one up.
Yeah.
It was really nicely done. And Hanwha, they're the ones with a very strong Callista, and this is what she can do. She can clean up team fights like that. Ezreal is in a similar position, but not right now. He's below half health, and he needs to go back home. And what I was going to say before is the fact that Hanwha Life have one of those team compositions that if you're against a Baron, you're feeling absolutely terrible. But if you've got a Baron, it's just so good. You can fire Paddle Stars alongside these empowered minions, and you can also dive turrets. Exactly what they're going to do. Ornhorn comes in this time, but it's much better. Nova's Devour, not going to be enough. Can't even eat the Grey Health as a double kill. With the first Ren comes in for Sungyun. Can he find more now as Grace? Not going to get trouble bubbled. Temp's going to flash on over, trying to find more, but he will just find an ult to the face and has to get the hell out of there. Root's at full health, but he does no damage. Oh, there we go. The snipe from the back line from Linderong finds the Zoe, but doesn't really matter all that much. They do take down the inhibitor. Cool guys don't look at explosion. Does the Siege Minion is what finishes it off. And we do now have that Blade of the Ruin King upgrade 8-0 and 2. Bloodthirster in hand. He's even got himself the QSS just to keep himself alive. Sungyun's having a great time here on the Callista.
Yeah, Hanwha Life is just so far ahead right now. We can see the Observer highlighting Tyler 1's item.
Yep,
Blade of the
right Reformed King.
Blade of the Reformed King.
Yeah.
Definitely a quality.
Who are you going for in the bet, by the way?
What bet?
You don't know about this?
No.
Okay, no.
What about it? What bet?
I was wondering. It was isn't it the race to see who's the highest rank by the end of the month between Yasuo and T1? As we are going to see this replay once again. Huh?
I know.
It's going to be a little bit. They get a second go at it. I don't know how this is going to work. It's double kill comes in, and this is just Hanwha Life having way more money than Jinna, and also having an 80 carry that did damage. It's a good thing to have an 80 carry that does damage.
Does it?
Yeah.
All right.
This is what I've learned this game.
You know what I learned is that Zoe should not have stuck around.
Yeah.
Zoe actually probably should have just went to top lane.
Ironic
right there.
that he went to pick up a heal for his W and then died for it. Oh,
Well,
feels
he
bad.
should have been pathing to top lane anyway because the fight in the middle lane had already ended and it was unable to be pushed any further regardless of if he was present or not.
Yep.
But his presence on the map didn't need to end. He could have either run immediately down into bottom lane, gotten a Baron wave, started to be tapped and then pushing, or gone up to top so that the follow-up rotation could have actually just gone to top to capture top tier 2, but elected to do neither. Instead,
Tal taking some free damage here. Does get himself out of the way. Unstoppable during the Bellow's Breath. And Charge going to follow up, so he's going to be okay. Redemption comes forward. There's the Ram once again as Grace is going to cop it. Fate's Call comes in as well as Sangyun actually taking a lot of damage, goes down to his GA. And now Hanwha may have dove too far. Lantern Ride is going to get Sangyun to safety, but man, that was too close for comfort. It is a 1-for-0. It's C's going down, but Hanwha lose so much of their health bars.
yeah, and that was a very unfortunate timing here for Hanwha Life to have their push initially repelled, although Jinair didn't get to go to their fountain, so this fight is still alive and well.
Also Grace in so much trouble. Devour there from Nova. A lot of trust out of the mid laner. It's Grace not going to be there to try and clear out the wave, and so this is going to be broken in 2 places now. Base is destroyed as Linderong just, he wishes that he could go in, but he knows that they are just going to kill him. The Abyssal Voyage is going to get Grace and Nova in there.
Oh, they're all in.
They're trying to rout him, exactly right, but Trouble Bubble is going to stop the Syndra from moving on forward. Teleport from the Ezreal. The Xin Zhao's not going to be here. It's a 4 versus 5, but the health bars are so low.
The Ocean Drakes are actually coming in handy right now.
Yeah, they're almost back up. And now Grace does find one. It's going to be the GA. And, okay, Nova trying to play front line. Bono is going to stay alive for the moment. Can they get anything else? A triple knock-up from Tal, but the Grey Health is eaten there from Nova. And now finally, we're going to have more. The Ornhorn back off cooldown once again, but avoided once again as well. Root just doesn't have the damage availability. That's not a true shot barrage that we're used to seeing here in the LCK.
I love it.
It's a weird and wonderful game, isn't it?
I couldn't tell what was just happening.
Oh no, it's like game number 1, we've lost him. LS's brain doesn't know how to comprehend this level of League of Legends.
Well, that was a very interesting last 45 seconds where it looked like a lot was going to happen, but in the end, we don't get anything. It starts right here. Ornn Ultimate elects to go on to Grace, and then it was Knock Up City for a little while. But Sangyun, being a little bit overzealous, ends up losing his Guardian Angel right there underneath the turret, and then it was a full-on retreat, and it looked like Hanwha Life had successfully repelled the push, but none of them wanted to take a quick trip to the fountain, and I guess that's it for the replay.
Yep,
So
that's because there's
the observers
action.
didn't know what just happened the last 45 seconds.
Yeah,
either,
like
so.
when do we stop the replay actually? I'm not entirely sure when the weirdness stops and starts again as Linderong gets a fair bit of damage there onto Tal, but Tempt trying to get an exchange of damage, but just takes a cue to the face. True Shot Barrage, checking the Baron, will be able to check Bono's health bar at the same time, and this is the problem. Standing around this area is that the Trouble Bubbles will land true. Tempt has been very good at hitting them so far.
Kalista can just solo this, actually.
Oh.
That's cool.
Is
Oh,
it?
that's, yeah.
I mean, if you're a Jinair fan, it doesn't feel that cool at all, as Hanwha are going to turn up. They know if True Shot Barrage was used, then there's not a lot of other options. Finally, a blue trinket does come in.
This is the Ornn ult.
Yep, here we go. Is he going to hit this one? The answer is yes! As the Devour comes forward, but the Baron's dead. The Syndra as well. It's all about Sangyun now in these fights as he's just dancing past. The Tahm Kench should be going down here. It's just a matter of time, and he does eventually fall. Linderong and Root, what can they actually do to stop this? I don't know whether there's any answer for that, as Tal's pretty big on the front line, but he's going to lose most of his health bar. But Sangyun uses that as an excuse to dive on forward. The Ren set is going to come in. As almost goes down, actually, but will be able to get the ace. And Jinair, unfortunately, not going to be able to stand up against Hanwha Life Esports. The 2-0 will come in, as Hanwha so good at checking teams that are beneath them on the standings, and that remains true here against Jinair.
Win streak ended, Atlas.
There's still winners in my heart, LS, because this did not... Remember our last Jinair broadcast? It was a very, very sad time. It was Jinair honestly feeling like they felt like they'd lost from the minute the game started. They subbed out their entire roster and then played the next game and felt like they also barely loaded onto the Rift. This was a Jinair that had a plan, that had an idea, that had a team composition that we understood the idea of, right? And they tried to play to it. Just unfortunately, Sangyu got gigantic and they lost. You know?
I don't know what to say. You know, I've never been so let down since Final Fantasy X2.
Whoa. I feel like that burn came way out of left field, dude, and I feel like that only made it more potent.
Oh, man.
Jeez.
Well, quite sad today if you are a Jin Air fan. Is it actually possible anymore for them to avoid relegation now with a 0-2 defeat tonight?
I mean, they still have, I think, more than 3 games to go. So, yes, it is possible. That's assuming...
The stars have to align.
Yeah, the stars certainly have to align. And Afrika and either Genji or KT, one of those three, 2 of those 3 need to just not win anymore. And then Jin Air can potentially go and pick up some more victories. But their schedule is not exactly the easiest at this point in time. As hey, Sangyu, he's like, just give me an MVP, guys. Just give me an MVP. And I actually want him to get one because Sangyu is the best interview in the LCK, in my personal opinion. Guys, leak charisma.
Definitely does deserve an MVP this game. I think if anyone else gets it, it would not make sense. Daemon.
Taiwanese fan?
Daemon? I don't know. She came from Daemon. Where's Daemon?
Maybe G-Sun will pop into our ears and let us know what that
G-Sun
says.
needs to know what country Daemon is. I know Taeguk.
Yeah.
Taeguk is Thailand.
All right. That makes sense.
Jungkook is China.
Yep, I know that one as well.
Ilbon is Japan.
Dacia is Russia.
Migook is America.
Hoju
and
is
then,
Australia.
Like, there's a few... Yeah, Hoju is Australia. There's a few countries that have non-Romanized.
Yeah, the countries that were...
I don't know the word for that.
Yeah, it's...
like Canada is
they're not
Canada.
Yeah, Canada.
Canada, yeah, like, you know.
But America is Migook.
Yeah, Migook.
So that's it's interesting that Canada.
You know what it translates to? Beautiful land. Which
really?
I think that they haven't been there. All right,
that's the dead giveaway. Oh, unfortunate.
That is definitely interesting.
Oh my god, that is so good.
That's actually pretty sick because these things are available for anyone to grab right outside the door. So this guy drew it during this game.
Drew it today. Yeah. And there's also like colored pens and stuff, like textures as well. So you can sit there at like a little arts and crafts table. It's actually fantastic. So you do have access to colored drawings. If you're an artist, you're going to turn up here at Lowell Park. Make sure that you remember that and get your work out there.
Hanwha Life probably feeling very good after today's win. As really, I mean, all that they have to worry about right now is making sure they stay inside of playoffs.
Yeah, and also, like, we have to remember...
And then it's up from there.
Yeah, and this is the 2-0 as well, so maximum points up against Jin Air. And Kingzone now, going up against Damwon Gaming, they're the other team that was sitting at the same scoreline at 7-5 moving into today. And so in order to retain their spot in 5th place, they will have to win against Damwon today. Of course, they can win 2-1, and it'll still be fine for Kingzone because their points are much higher than Hanwha Life. But a match win is a match win, and if you get that, it doesn't matter what your points say at all. You are still going to be ahead. We only use the points to break ties in the amount of wins that you get. So it's definitely pressure on here for a Kingzone team that looked fairly vacant against SKT, but we just realized that SKT have leveled up their play. The series against Griffin certainly taught us that.
Taking a look at some of the highlights here. This is where it started looking like it was going to be a good game for Jin Air, but then they ended up botching this.
Yeah. It was some good play from Tal, to be perfectly honest. He did level up and get the knock-up very, very quickly.
That didn't look like it hit, but it did. Root had no way out, even though he had his flash available, as well as the flash on Thomas.
What does Key get the MVP? He also played
Let's
like,
keep
look
watching
at the
the highlights.
Man.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good hook.
Yeah, I think this might be a time where we're thinking give it to Sangyu because he's the one that went legendary, but actually it was because his support was real good.
Yeah, actually, I think these are some okay hooks.
Yeah.
Atlas.
Yeah. Guy's pretty good.
I mean, he might be mastery level 4.
I reckon he got an S for this, you know. I reckon he's heading towards Mastery 5.
I'm curious what his screen would say. They've already turned off the PCs behind us, so can't actually see there. You know, what I was looking backwards for
Another
in
one.
the
Oh
previous
my God.
game was I wanted to see if he smart casts his magical journey, and he does.
Wow.
Which is impressive.
That's what you were looking back for. I thought like
Yeah.
we were trying. Like I was like, what is he? What is
What
going
am I-
on
yeah,
here?
I'm
He's
looking
getting
at it.
distracted.
Yeah.
There's a video game right here.
Well, I'm watching on the main screen right behind us,
Yeah. So
but
you
I'm
still
also
want-
simultaneously waiting. I'm like, can you just cast the magical journey already so I
Oh,
know?
That is next level. That is
That's
next
what I'm-
level.
that's what I'm trying
what
to
you
do.
get, guys. That's what you get in the LCK from your analysts. They're not only watching the game, but they're also watching the player playing the game. You get sort of like cast.
It's gonna really get into the mind.
See, look at that. He goes, picks up a heal to heal himself and dies for it. Irony.
He healed the enemy
everyone.
team.
Irony.
So that's what was going on right there.
Yeah, I'm giving it to Key. I think it's probably one of the best Thresh performances I've seen in a highlight reel. It's just amazing. Yesterday's Snowflower's play was pretty out of control, but this was just silly. And look, Sungyun's like basically inting, but he just knows that he's going to have that Thresh behind him, just happy to dive under turrets into 2 damage dealers. No worries there at all.
6.1 thousand damage as well on the Thresh. He was really getting inside the action.
Yeah, those empowered
game.
play auto attacks really
Yeah.
starting to add up after them souls came in, and he's been claiming a lot of souls. Because that bottom lane was certainly smashing it, and probably, I think that was the Ezreal performance that really does show that in the LCK we have the best Ezreal players. Because for us, Ezreal is pick or ban, right?
Yeah.
For us, Ezreal is just completely broken. But oftentimes you have Ezreal performances like this, where he doesn't get off the ground. We're going to see in our next series, Ezreal's going to be banned every game, because Deft is in the series.
Yes.
So you have to ban it.
Or
he gets it and he wins the game?
yes.
Haha! That's the option.
Sungyun.
Oh no, we're KDA slaves. We're KDA slaves. I'm sorry, everyone.
This one's reasonable. I'm not going to end up front page Reddit this time. I can actually understand it. Key.
Even Sungyun hitting his R button is still a play from Key.
Hey. Sungyun sees it, casts R. Or does Key call
No,
for
Key
it?
tells him to do it.
Is that what he
Come on,
does?
You know that's what.
All right.
And this also, like, this is Key highlight. I can't wait to see the next Key highlight in the Sungyun
Look,
highlight reel.
Kalista auto attack.
Oh, that's true.
All right.
Flash E.
Yeah, no, wait a minute. Sungyun told him to throw the hook.
Ah, that's it. No, Sungyun actually like, here, quick, let me in there. And he like switches, he goes over here, and then you've got Key switches, he goes over here and he controls the Kalista, because that's the easier one, and Sungyun wants to get the MVP. So
Glad that you're
that's
telling
what happened.
all of our viewers.
I mean, you're the one that was looking
I was
back,
watching it.
making
That's
sure
what I was
that
so
it was happening.
mesmerized
Yeah,
by.
that's why we can prove it was happening. Guys, interview now, so we're going to throw it to Ji-Sung for some translation.
Thank you very much, guys. This is today's interview translation, and we're going to be joined by Tal and Sangyun
네,
from Hanwha
진해어가
Life
지난 경기
Esports.
첫 승을 차지하면서 요즘
Well,
기세가
Chineo
나쁘지
picked up their
않아서 많이
first victory
준비하셨을
last
것
time,
같아요.
so you guys must have
어떠신가요?
prepared a lot because they're in an ascending mood, right?
팀 상대 할때 그 저력이 있는
In my
팀을
previous
했는데
interview, I did
이번
say
오늘
Junior has
경기도
power.
그만큼
And
서로
today,
잘한 것
I
같아요.
think we
게임
both did
결과가.
well.
네, 하나생명도 잘했고 또 진해어도 아주 무기력한 모습은 아니었습니다. 자,
상윤,
상윤 선수는 지난 청캐
last
인터뷰
time.
이후에 오늘 MVP로는 처음
It has been a while since you joined the MVP, and I heard your father is here to support you. How do you feel right now?
남다른 거는 자주 오셔서 특별히 없고요.
Well, he's always here, so it's not that
절벽에 지금
special.
매달려 있거든요. 네, 지면은
We're actually hanging on the
때문에
cliff, so if we
일승
lose,
일승이
we're gonna
너무
fall.
중요하기
So
때문에
every victory counts. So I mean, every match is so important for us.
요즘에 분위기는 어떠세요?
So how's the teamwork going in your team?
항상 좋아요.
Always
분위기는
good,
항상 좋아요. 게임을
but I mean, we lose, but we're always in a good mood.
네, 특히 상윤 선수가 아까 마지막 장면도 그렇고 이거
Sangyun,
장면도
your face is caught on camera in the very end. I guess you are always some funny kind of person. So speaking of game, you played Yorick in first game, top. How was the Irelia versus Yorick matchup in top lane?
상대가 이렐리아를 뽑을 거란 걸 예상.
Well,
선픽을
we
한
did
거예요.
expect Linderang to answer with Irelia when I first picked Yorick.
자신 있는 픽이어서.
But Yorick is one of the champions that I'm confident with, so there was no big problem.
각 팀들마다 많이 들고 나오고 실제로 활약도
And
좋은데
Yorick seems to be a top tier champion currently. Do you agree?
아, 그건 제가 잘해서 1등인 것 같은데요.
Well, that's because I'm so good at it.
야, 퓨알 선수의 요리기.
That's where the high evaluation comes from.
첫 첫 탑다이브 장면 정말 인상적이었습니다. 저희
So
화면
let's go
보면서 얘기
through this replay
나눠볼게요.
together. It's a turret dive in the very early
네,
game.
화면이 준비가 되어 있지 않다고
Oh,
하는데요.
actually, we don't have that replay.
기억은
Sorry.
나시죠?
You remember that moment,
인상적인
though.
장면이어서요.
It was very impressive.
그때 제가 보기엔 타이밍이 정말 기가 막히다. 이거 누구
It was
생각이었는지
great
많이
timing.
궁금해요.
Whose call was that?
라인이 쌓일 때
When my minions were pushing,
느낌이 있어요.
I had the feeling that
라인 쌓일 것
I
같은
will be
느낌이
able to
있어서 바로
create the
불렀어요.
wave
저는
to
다이브를 하자고.
enable the turret dive, so I made the call and called other players to join me.
우리 팀이 다 와줘서.
It wasn't easy
그때
kill.
린다란 선수가 집에 안 갈 거라는 확신이 있으셨나요?
Did you have the
그
confidence that
웨이브는
Lindaran
어떤
won't
탑이
base?
와도 안 버릴 탑
I mean,
웨이브였어요.
there will be no top laner to
야,
give up
상대
that much
그
of a big
심리까지
wave.
정확히 예측을 해주셨습니다. 자 그리고 이 세트에는 상현
Game
선수의
two,
칼리스타가
상현, your
아주
Kalista
인상적이었습니다.
went
요즘
legendary.
칼리스타도 요릭과 마찬가지로
Kalista
정말 많이
is
나오는
one of the
픽이거든요.
mainstream
어떻게
champions
생각하시나요?
currently,
요즘에
followed by
많이
Yorick.
픽되는 이유가 뭐라고
What is the
생각하세요?
big reason?
일단 라인전 초반 라인전 단계가 너무 강해서
It's really strong in the very early phase of laning.
잡아오는 게 좋아서 많이
So it's really easy and it's really important to actually gain that laning
원거리
priority.
챔피언 말고 근거리 챔피언이랑 하면 다 좋아요.
Kalista is a really good champion. Kalista has a really good synergy with melee type of champions in support.
집이었는데 이 쓰레쉬가 마지막에 실피로
And do you remember that moment?
살아가게 해주시는 장면.
You saved key with your ultimate.
네, 뭐 기억 난다고 할게요.
I'll just say I'll remember that.
네, 아마 이 장면은 기억이 나실 것 같아요. 바로
I
나
probably
한타
guess
장면
you
저희
will remember this
만나보겠습니다.
moment. This is the team fight near the Baron's Pit.
자, 이때 사실 하나 생명이 다 빼지 않을까 생각을
We
했는데
were actually
한번 더
expecting all the
점수가
Hana players to
일어나게
retreat,
됐어요.
but you guys actually
솔직히
engaged.
근데 이거 큰일 났다.
Well, I thought at first, we're the trouble, so I was
제이스 만약에
trying to run away.
처음에 맞았으면 저희가 굉장히 안 좋았거든요.
And if that
네,
Jace
상대편이
QE landed on us,
솔직히
it
실수를
must
조금
have been a
했어요.
hard
그래서
situation for
저희가
us,
좀
but
다시
they made a bit of a
반등할
mistake,
수
so
있는
we were
기회가
able
있었던
to
거지.
kind of
좀
fight back.
많이 유효했던 것 같아요.
But that
네,
was
좀
indeed a
위험했지만 상윤
very
선수의
dangerous
칼리스타가
moment
다
for us.
잡아내는 장면이 굉장히 인상적이었습니다. 야, 하나생명의 합이 뭐 조금의
Can't say.
실수는
Hana Life
있을지언정
Esports,
이렇게 잘
you guys might
맞아가고
sometimes
있는데요.
make mistakes,
수현
but
선수가
the teamwork is
생각하실 때
very
우리
solid.
팀의 합,
So
그
tall.
비결은 뭐라고 생각하시나요?
What is the key of
아무래도
that
다
such
똑같은
a
분위기죠.
solid teamwork?
깜짝이야.
가족 같은 분위기예요.
Really, we're like a family.
네,
Family.
맞아요. 네, 저 진짜 깜짝 놀랐어요. 네. 멋있으십니다.
You're the man, tall.
상현 선수는
And
수현
상현.
선수에 대해 수현 선수의 얘기에 대해서 어떻게 생각하시나요?
Do you agree with him?
좋죠.
Yeah, we're like family. It's so good.
야, 가족 같은
I agree.
하나생명. 앞으로도 그 팀워크 기대해 보도록
We'll
하겠습니다.
be looking forward to
자,
seeing more of a
다음
teamwork
저희 8시
in our upcoming
경기가
series.
다mon과 킹존의 경기인데
In our
그
upcoming
결과에
series.
따라서 또 많이
In 8
순위
p.m.
변동이
here,
생길 것 같아요.
it's
어느
Salmon
팀
versus
응원하시나요?
Kingzone, and it's a matter
일어나서
of
둘다 졌으면 좋겠습니다.
play of race, right? What's your
마이너스
opinion?
10점씩.
I hope something
야,
impossible to
너무
happen and
생각지도
both
못한
teams loses
대답이에요.
and they can
와,
all lose their
최고예요,
points.
하나생명. 멋있습니다. 야, 네,
That was the
알겠습니다.
best
자,
answer
다음
I
경기
have
이제
heard so far,
기다려봐야 할
and
텐데요.
your next
어떻게
opponent.
임하실 계획이신가요?
How are we going to
다음
prepare for your
경기도
upcoming
진짜
series?
중요한 경기인 만큼 저희가 준비 잘해서
Our next game
예,
is also
하나
as
선수도 이제
important
올라올
as
때
to
됐잖아요.
this today. So on the
잘해서
Life
올라올 수
Esports,
있도록
it is time for us
열심히
to
해보겠습니다.
rise. So
네,
we're going to
가족
prepare
같은
hard.
하나생명 더 올라가길 바라겠습니다. 자, 상현 선수는
What
어떤
about you,
각오이신가요?
상현?
한판 지면은 솔직히 좀 많이
If we lose
다른
one
팀에
game,
의지를 해야 돼요. 다른 팀이
We
지길
have to
바라야
rely
되기
on
때문에
other teams to
이제 매년
like
그랬기
expect
때문에
them to
이번에는 좀
lose,
제발 좀
and
올라갔으면
that's
좋겠네요.
what we have been
네.
doing for the rest of the
다른 팀의 상태와
year
상관없이 위로
so far.
쭉쭉
So I hope that we
올라가는
can
하나생명이
make
되길
our way
바라겠습니다.
to
오늘 인터뷰
playoffs by
감사드립니다.
ourselves.
감사합니다.
And this will be the end of
네,
the interview with
태양
Paul and
선수,
Sangin
상현
from
선수와의
Hana
유쾌한
Life Esports, and I'm going to
인터뷰였습니다.
pass it back to our
준비해서
casters. Thank you.
Well, it's actually going to be very, very hard for Hanwha Life because the next two games are Damwon followed by SKT. The Damwon match is going to be a huge one here, so not getting a 2-0 against Jinae would have been almost fatal here for Hanwha Life, but now the race against Kingzone is certainly still on, and with Kingzone faltering a little bit against SKT previously, this is certainly an option, but damn, I'm so glad that we get these games back-to-back to see where this race is going to go, because looking at Hanwha today, they had some fumbles against Jinna in Game 1. Game 2 was much more solid, especially playing around that bottom lane. And then our second series, what Kingzone are we going to get? That's the question.
Well, here we go, as Kingzone really going to have to show up big tonight
Oh, yeah.
if they want to keep their playoff spots alive and well. And as you mentioned, Hanwha Life was a really important win for them.
And they were only on
they
+1,
do have,
right?
Yeah, they have their work cut out for them, especially because SK Telecom are looking really scary. Some people might look at the standings and be like, oh, Sandbox, second best team. No.
No. And also, you look at it and you're like, Griffin are only like a win ahead. No, they've played barely as many games.
Yeah.
This team's going to be heading for 13-0, and that's going to tie up the amount of matches that they've played, right, with a lot of the others.
Beat Griffin, though? Jinair won.
Well, I mean, tomorrow we might find out. Sandbox's turn to go up against Griffin, and theoretically they're higher on the standings than SKT.